Starting the day I take the oath of office, I will rapidly drive prices down and we will make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again.
Yeah.
And inflation is back. I'm only here for 2.5 weeks.
That was January.
Inflation is back.
For a week.
No, think of it. Inflation's back. And they said, oh, Trump inflation. I had nothing to do with it.
It's not broken promises. It's outright fraud. All of the things that Donald Trump was saying on the campaign trail were lies. We were trying to warn you. Let me show you the admission that Donald Trump made last night on Hannity, where he said, folks, inflation is back. Here, play this clip.
Yeah, we inherited.
Yeah.
And inflation is back. I'm only here for 2.5 weeks.
That was January.
Inflation is back.
For a week.
No, think of it. Inflation's back. And they said, oh, Trump inflation. I had nothing to do with it. These people.
Well, do you remember what he said on the campaign trail? As inflation was actually going down based on former President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, the inflation being caused by Donald Trump adding $8 trillion to our national debt in his first administration. Here was the promise Trump made on the campaign trail. I have hundreds of clips like this. I'll just show one short clip here. Play this clip.
So when I win, I will immediately bring prices down. Starting on day one, we will end Kamala's war on American energy and we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill.
But then let's talk about what Donald Trump is trying to do to distract you, folks. He's getting rid of the penny. Ooh, the penny. He wants to get rid of that. That's what you get. No, goodbye, penny. Here, play this clip of Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and he knows, like, what am I even doing here? Here, play this clip.
Tonight, finally, are you definitively getting rid of the penny?
Brett, I've got to say that President Trump wants to make the penny extinct, and that's part of the cost savings. It costs about 3 cents to make 1 cent, and even in Washington, that math doesn't work.
So it's going soon.
It's going soon.
Okay.
All right, let's go to other not broken promises, outright fraud. Remember Donald Trump's statements during the campaign that he was going to end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours, he said 24 hours after the election. He said he wouldn't even have to be sworn in. Remember what he said? Here, play this clip.
End the war in Ukraine in 24 hours.
Yes, I
How
do.
would you do that?
I know Zelensky very well.
I'll end that war between those two countries in 24 hours. It won't even take that.
Well, Donald, you now sent your Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, to Saudi Arabia to meet with the Russian delegation led by Russia's Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, to normalize United States-Russian relations as Russia's trying to destroy the United States of America, you idiot. And you were trying to sell out Ukraine and force Ukraine to capitulate without even any plan, without bringing Ukraine to the bargaining table, without bringing Europe to the table. That was your plan. And guess what? It wasn't resolved in 24 hours. When Donald Trump was vacationing in Mar-a-Lago yesterday, as he was playing golf yet again, here's what Donald Trump told the press about Ukraine. Play this clip.
Yeah, please.
Do you have any message for Ukrainians who, after 3 years of fighting, might feel betrayed or disappointed at not having a seat at these initial talks in Saudi Arabia?
Well, I think I'm really disappointed in what's happened. I've been watching this for 3 years. It's a war that would have never happened if I was president. And I've been watching these people being killed at levels that you've rarely seen, not even close, since the Second World War. And I'm very disappointed. I hear that, they're upset about not having a seat. Well, they've had a seat for 3 years and a long time before that. This could have been settled very easily. Just a half-baked negotiator could have settled this years ago without the loss of much land, very little land, without the loss of any lives, and without the loss of cities that are just laying on their sides. You have those magnificent golden domes that are shattered, will never be replaced. You can't replace them. 1,000-year-old domes that are so beautiful, you can't replace that. The whole civilization has changed because of what. So when they're worried about not being seated, you mean somebody that should have gone in and made a deal a long time ago. You could have made a deal. This is one that could have made a deal. There was no talk of this during the Trump administration. Putin would have never, ever done it And by the way, we wouldn't have had October 7th. You know that? We wouldn't have had October 7th either in Israel. And we wouldn't have had that mess that's going on over there. It's like we have great fire people here. We're putting out fires. All over the world, we're putting out fires. So that wouldn't have happened. And you know what else wouldn't have happened? Inflation. Because it was caused really by the cost of energy going through the roof because of their bad energy policies and also their spending, their terrible spending, wasteful spending on the Green New Scam. It's a scam. It's a whole big scam. Yeah, please.
Wow, that was his message. You've had a seat at the table for 3 years. Donald, you told everybody that you were going to be this great negotiator. You were going to figure it out. Or were you just going to totally capitulate as we told everybody you were going to? So take a look at the spineless Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, with the U.S. delegation, and they seemed giddy over the idea of normalizing economic relations with Putin and empowering Putin. Watch this, play this clip.
The diplomatic one is one we hope to move pretty quickly on because this involves the treatment of our respective missions. The second one will be difficult, which is the question of Ukraine and the end of that conflict. But I think that's essential in order for the third piece to even be possible, which is our ability to work together on other geopolitical matters of common interest and, of course, some pretty unique, potentially historic economic partnerships as well. The key that unlocks the door for those opportunities, however, is the end to this conflict.
In terms of
all right, let me show you more, not broken promises, but outright fraud. Remember what Donald Trump said on the campaign trail? That he said that on day one, he was going to start the largest mass deportation in history. He said it was going to happen on day one, right away. That's what was going to happen. Here, play the clip of what he said.
The United States is now an occupied country, but it will soon be an occupied country no longer. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. And on day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. We're going to get these criminals out. I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered. These towns have been conquered, you know, they have been invaded. And can you imagine? Just as though a foreign enemy was invading, a military was invading, and probably just as vicious or more vicious. And we will put these bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them out of our country, get them the hell out of here fast.
Sometimes figuring out dinner can feel like solving a puzzle. By the time you've decided what to make, the night's over and you're reaching for ramen again. Sound familiar? That's why I love Home Chef. They make dinner time simple, delicious, and stress-free. Home Chef delivers fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently to your doorstep to simplify your cooking experience. Whether you prefer classic meal kits with pre-portioned ingredients, quick 30-minute recipes, oven-ready options, or even microwave meals, Home Chef has something for everyone. Plus, their dedicated family menu is a lifesaver for busy households. Here's why I love it. The recipes are easy to follow, the ingredients are always fresh, and the meals are consistently delicious. I recently tried their creamy chicken pasta bake. It felt like restaurant quality, and I made it at home for under 30 minutes. No stress, no guesswork, just great food. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. And now they've launched their 5-ingredient meals, super simple recipes that use just 5 fresh, pre-portioned ingredients to make your prep even easier. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering our listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and free shipping on your first box. Wow. Go to homechef.com/Meidas to claim this amazing offer. That's homechef.com/Meidas, MEIDAS, for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. homechef.com/Meidas. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. Try Home Chef today. Your future dinners will thank you.
Well, Fox tried to pump it up with propaganda. On January 22nd, 2025, Fox said this. Here, play this clip.
Fox News alert, the largest mass deportation operation in U.S. history has begun. Primetime got its hands on exclusive photos of ICE raids from
And then remember, Donald Trump said, I'm just going to go after the criminals first. I'm going to prioritize the criminals first. Well, Donald Trump was asked about that at that press conference as well. Hey, Donald, you've actually been sending a lot of people to concentration camps in Guantanamo Bay who were not part of gangs, who were not criminals. You're deporting your own supporters, Venezuelans whose family members were under TPS, temporary protected status, who are not criminals. You cut deals with the Venezuelan dictator Maduro, who was voted out of power, but like the authoritarian you are, is clinging to power the way you want to. You're sending your Venezuelan supporters back to be killed by Maduro or throwing people who are not criminals into concentration camps. Donald Trump was asked about it, and he didn't deny that he sent non-criminals. He was like, oh, well, we'll move them back to their countries of origins. Here, play this clip.
On immigration, sir, you said you would be sending the worst of the worst to Guantanamo Bay. What we're finding out is that there are a lot of low-risk migrants who don't have a criminal background who are also being sent. Are you thinking about this differently now?
No, they're going to be brought back to their countries. And with some persuasion, every one of those countries, everyone in the, as you know, every country is taking the people back. So some of them are going to be brought back to, many of them, any of them that are low risk, as you say, are going to be brought back to their countries.
And as my friend Pablo Manriquez also says, actually fact check, 0 of the transferees to Guantanamo have been confirmed to have criminal records or gang ties. It should also be noted that on day one, there wasn't the largest mass deportation in history. In fact, the level of deportations are actually less than in the Biden administration significantly, except the Biden administration deported criminals more than innocent people or people who were not engaged in crimes, while more people who Trump is deporting and sending back to countries that where they could get tortured and killed are actually people who were not engaged in crimes. But, you know, they are doing their propaganda shtick, their tough guy act, because cruelty's the point. So they're sending their border czar, Tom Homan, I won't even want to go where I'm about to go with that. But anyway, he goes on the various news networks where he threatens AOC, Democratic Congresswoman AOC, repeatedly, because that gets to rile up the MAGA base, while they lie about all the stuff that they said they were going to do. Let's just attack AOC. Here, play this clip.
First of all, I think she's, you know, I won't go after her on
Tom, please do. Say what's on your mind. It's a holiday.
Look, she's the dumbest congresswoman ever elected to Congress, and she proves that every day. And look, bottom line is, I can't believe any member of Congress, Republican, Democrat, Independent, would want to educate criminal illegal aliens who are in the country illegally, been convicted of a violent crime, and have been ordered removed by an immigration judge after due process at great taxpayer expense. You got a congressman or congresswoman that does not want ICE to do the job that Congress has mandated them to do and funds them to do.
And then they announced what we need to do because they can't actually, because they're incompetent and cruel. Let's do a marketing campaign. $200 million, right? Because they claim they care about government waste. $200 million will throw behind ads in English with Kristi Noem cosplaying the governor who shot her dog. Yeah, Kristi Noem cosplaying. She's now the Secretary of Homeland Security, saying, "You go home, illegals. You go home, illegals." And then as part of this marketing campaign, the White House. This is from the official White House account. This is how ghoulish and disgusting and monstrous these people are. This is what they posted from our White House account. Shame on these goons. Here, play this clip. And while all of this is going on, it seems like every day we learn that Doge accidentally fired the people who are stopping the bird flu. Doge accidentally fired the people working in the nuclear plants. Doge is firing FAA workers and critical workers, not accidentally. They're getting rid of tens of thousands of government workers who we rely on. It seems like every day there's like another plane crash taking place, and it's horrific. And what does Donald Trump do? Oh, while there's devastation in terrible storms in Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Donald Trump goes to NASCAR and drives around in circles in his motorcade over and over again. But hey, Donald, let me ask you this question. While 12 people or more died in Kentucky from the storms, and you said nothing while posting stupid selfies of yourself from a Daytona 500 NASCAR race. Hey, Donald, whatever happened to no tax on tips? No tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. Whatever happened to capping credit card interest rates and capping credit card penalty fees? What happened to all of those promises that you made? You are a 2-bit snake oil salesman, con artist, pathetic, weak fool. And America needs to know that about you, because you lied, you betrayed Americans, but that was the purpose. You're a con artist, you are a fraud, you are a criminal, you are an adjudicated felon. You are despicable. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.